So, as the title indicates, thoughts for raids, and I've been really wanting to make this clip for a while now. It just honestly, like in a way, I didn't care. Like I spoke about it a few times to clan and friends, and that was like a honestly discussion over maybe the past 2 years. But like you know what, since I got a decent feedback from my friends that I think you should make some clips like that, especially with my last clip about the power progression and the issues. So, and I'm not doing it for watch it, but it's an idea, um, and I think this will be also another long discussion because I do be liking to talk, and I talk and but hopefully these thoughts can be beneficial. Hopefully, it reaches to someone in Bungie and maybe a streamer, and then it gets bigger. Because personally, as really like I said before, a passionate raider, and I want to see these changes. It will benefit all type of players. Whether you just came to the game or you've been around the block. So, and just a disclaimer, what I'm showing here is not really measurement of skill. Like clears are never measurement of skill. It's not to, like let me show off, like or like again give attention. Just a disclaimer. I'm showing this because it's my demonstration. It's my way of like my credential in a way that I've been around from the beginning since like Leviathan days, since 2017 basically. And and also if you really go on a raid hub like currently, and but not too long because people do be cheating and AFKing. But again, not the discussion. Like I will be number one for most spend time in raids, and then as a clear farmer. And I've got to witness from 2017 as Destiny 2 to this moment as I'm making this clip so much from raiding, and I got to interact with basically each possible category, whether I enjoyed it or not the discussion. And then understood the player base from, hey, I'm new to raiding, I never done a single raid, or I have one clear, to people like I have 100 or 500, and of course the layers of 1,000, the clear farmers. And that's the clear farming, and as like a Sherpa, like, hey, I never done this raid. And then of course there is the low man, which is when you solo a raid, when you do a raid, or 3 man, or even a quad, and like SC, for example, Salvation's Edge. And there's also the flawless, whether you do solo flawless the entire raid, or you do a duo flawless or trio, and quad, whether master difficulty or the normal difficulty. So now we have the Sherpa, which is teaching new players how to raid. And then you have the clear farming, which is getting your numbers higher and higher and higher. So whether you do clear farm or speed farm. And then there's also a different category like speedrunning, and then there's also low manning. Each tier has its group, has its ups, has its downs, but they all share one passion, which is raids. No matter what you do, it's the passion of I'm raiding. I want to play fast. I want to play casually. I want to play in a medium speed, and you're moving at 10%, you're moving 50%, you're moving 100%. And in respect to all of these categories, like I said, I've been part of it. I've been part of all of these categories, whether I've done them on a professional level, whether I've done them on, I'm not the best at. And again, not a discussion where my skill level is at. Like I know myself at the end of the day and what I can bring to the table. But there's a lot of things that I believe as a raider, it can make raids alive and it can make raids have a purpose in despite of any category. Examples like the the lowmans, for example. There's a lot of people out there, and that they enjoy Lomans. I have so many friends that are into Lomans, and throughout the years I met so many, and I've done part of them, not the best at them or claim to be the best, like I said. But why, for example, we cannot engage with this community now as a developer, as a company, which is really all the satisfactory of like, let me do good to my customers, which is the player base that we have. So you have Bungie and you have us. We don't have to, destroy each other with negative feedback where we complain and have a negative feedback, and Bungie, they might hear you, they might not. And then there's that disconnect that we don't really need. So for me personally, I believe there's certain solutions to rate that it can make rating more engaging and to satisfy all the type of categories. As simple as Lomance. I think you should really have an emblem for solo witness, solo Atheon. I think when you duo or trio, you should have an emblem. Or not necessarily an emblem, but anything to show that you've done this hard work. And in Lomans, they call it jail. Because you do be in jail and just farming every single day to get that clear, to get that flawless, to get that Loman. And I've been part of that, as I said, back in the days. I may not do it as often, like, we're talking like 2019, 2020. I used to be into these things, but I disconnected. I didn't find myself in that. But there's a category for that I believe that they should be respected for the devotion, for the time investment. And as simple as he's an emblem because you solid witness. He's an emblem because you trioed the whole raid of Deepstone or Garden, and you name it, Last Wish. Whether you solo, you duo, you trio, uh, and an effort from the developers should be giving and made to the player. Like, you know what, you did something that usually requires 6 individuals. This is how we design the game. But here's something to show that. So now when I see this emblem in game, I go, wow, you solid witness. This is a player that I want to be around. I want to get to know them better and learn from them. And then, they share their experience, I share mine, and how I can do better. So that's when it comes to Lomance. And it's not just about an emblem. It could be a ghost shell. It could be a shader. It could be an emote. It could be something to demonstrate that you are that player who did this specific Loman. And engage with your players, Bungie. And this is just, we're talking about rates. There's dungeons, there's Gambit, there's Crucible. I'm not gonna get to that. I'm just gonna really focus on my category as Raider. Like I said, Lowman should have a way to appreciate the player for the effort, for the difficulty, for the challenge, and it does require a certain caliber. And I believe that if Bungie just engaged with that, that would be an amazing thing. And then there is also speedrunning. Not a lot of we don't have a lot of speedrunning going on in the game. Maybe like 1 to 3 to 4 groups that are professional. Which is the same people been the past maybe 2 years. But before we had different. Of course, we're getting to this unk stage. We're getting older. The passion, the drive, the quitting, and many changes affected us. Vaulting certain raids. These are things that affected us. I believe also if someone breaks a record for a certain raid, should be rewarded. And again, like I said, should be rewarded. An emblem that is designed. It's not really difficult to make an emblem. It's not really at all. Like, it's easy to design an emblem. There's so many concepts out there, and they can do it. They've done it. We have hundreds of emblems in the game. So again, if someone speeds and gets the record, I think these 6 players should be rewarded for that time. And then you can have different versions of it. Like maybe someone will go and beat that time by a second. Again, the concept here is that raid should have a purpose, and raid should have a sense of I'm getting on to grind because I know my goal will be this. And if this goal ends, there's also another goal awaits for you. And that's when it comes to speedrunning, rewarding with the same way as low man. It is a tough category. I feel the pinnacle of rating is really being this precise, this perfect to be able to get the best times. A successful raider is a efficient raider. And again, this is again all opinions. It's all thoughts. You don't have to agree with it. and that's just my perspective from the years that I've been playing Destiny as a raider. And so you have these two categories, the low men that we spoke about how they should be rewarded, and same with speedrunning. There's also clear farming. Clear farming, it's been happening since, I would say it got large since 20 like 18, 17 we had a little bit, and it's been happening since Destiny 1, but as a Destiny 2, 2018 and up to this moment, many clear farmers. Some quit sadly because you vaulted their favorite raids. This 5 raids harmed the community. I used to play with the top guys for as a clear farmer, and they quit. Some they still there and they lost, and they're lost. They don't know what they want to do because they, what they used to enjoy, like Leviathan, it's got removed. Eater of Worlds, it got removed, and Crown, Spire, Scourge of the Past, and that category we lost a really large percentage due to these vaulting. But now we're talking about what we have currently. What we have is, Garden, Volta Glass, Vow, you name it. I believe also clear farming should be rewarded as well, but we need to reward this effort in an honest way, because we do have a lot of cheating in the game that it's happening. Desert Perpetual is a definition of this is what's going on. And by the way, if you think we just paused there for a moment on Desert Perpetual, oh, this cheating happened, it's been happening since 2018. 2019 got large and it got worse. It never stopped. Raid Report doesn't care. Raid Hub is attempting to filter, but we still have, players who are banned still on the leaderboard. Players who are cheating, they're cheating on the daily, still on the leaderboard. There's no, communication between the sides, and I know some of them, trying, and I respect the people who are actually trying to keep, the integrity of the leaderboard. And also Bungie, in a way, they care, they don't care. You shouldn't be just caring about just Desert Perpetual. You should filter everything, take the time to understand. And there's people willing to communicate and tell you what is really going on. And it's not difficult also to see really who's cheating or not. I would be volunteering, get me in a Discord call, just legit DM me, Bungie, like, talk to us. And I'm not going to be malicious or make it personal as a raider to benefit me. I'm going to keep it honest and just for the integrity of the leaderboard, the integrity of raiding. It's something that I, like I said, passionate about, devoted to, and I still do it, and I love it so much. And my clan is the same thing. My friends are the same thing. Through the thousands of people I met, we want to have an honest effort. Our honest effort should be rewarded with honest work. And again, it's not a discussion, but that's something Bungie should definitely look into more, not just Desert Perpetual, as a raider. And this is not just my opinion, by the way. Many agree with me. We speak about these things often. Because we do have a cheater every single day merging out of nowhere. But going back to the main subject, like raid farmers, I think they should be rewarded. But I had to highlight it should be honest clears. Like, he made it from 1 to 100 with honest effort. I think reaching 100 clear, you should be rewarded from, let's say you've done 100 Garden of Salvation. I think there's an emblem should be given that at that 100 mark, which means instead of having 100, I know it's a lot of work to do making emblems, but again, I'm not saying necessarily an emblem, but it's just to show in game the hard work. It also shows that you put the effort to reach to this 100. An emblem, an emote, a shader, a sparrow, something, just something in game to show this work. Really not difficult because Bungie done hundreds and thousands of these things throughout the Destiny playing since 2017 until now, and we still get more and more. So if you reach 100 in a certain rate, I believe you should be rewarded by an emblem. I think if you hit 500, you should be rewarded with an emblem, and if you hit 1,000, you should be rewarded with an emblem. And then there's also, I noticed this is an idea, and I don't understand. I know, like, it seems like I'm trying to benefit myself, but again, it's my thoughts, it's my opinions as a raider, what I really want to happen in the game, and maybe others will agree with those thoughts. So I also want Like if there is an emblem to put the total of all of your clears with a division of full clears, and then full clears as full, or basically total as whether checkpoints or full combined together. We also don't have that. We have like separation. Like if I highlight, for example, clears of the paths, it will show there. Leviathan will show there, but we don't have a total. That would be awesome if just like your total clears. I would like to see that as a raider personally. It's a way to show that, I've done the work. You can ask me question, you can learn from me, I can learn from you, and then we can connect on a certain level and sense of rates. And a simple change like that can give raid farmers more purpose to farm. We do farm, we still people farming raids, but there's no purpose because it's the same Garden of Salvation you're doing, it's the same routes you're doing, but really it's just the homies, the friendship that we have that what keeps us going. But imagine if there is, when you hit that 500 mark, there's an emblem waiting for you in Garden. There's an emblem waiting for you in Ron and Val and you name it. My friends and the people that I know would be so happy, and other farmers will get together to get this. It shows we'd put the work. Again, clear farming isn't a skill, isn't demonstration I'm the best, but again, it's a simple thing that can make the player engaged to get on and do this grind. And that's when it comes to clear farming. I want to see the ability to jump from 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, seeing the total of clears in one digit, full separation, and then full slash checkpoints. These are changes I want to see. Like I would love to see that in the game. And like I said in the beginning, this is my opinion. These are my thoughts through the years that I've been, I have had these thoughts. And that's like a way when you do the clear farming. So now we covered the low manas and how they should be rewarded. We covered the speedrunning and how they should be rewarded, and clear farmers, honest clear farmers, and honest speedrunning and honest low man, how they should be rewarded. And another thing is, another category was a Sherpa. When we speak about Sherpa, which is basically an individual that takes a certain amount of players, whether it's one player, whether two, or a full class like five. I've done this personally. I know select a few that they've done it on a professional level, and they're very professional. Whether people who in the gardening community that they help to get divinity, and there's categories for that. People have been doing this for years now, and nothing but respect to them. Even if we have disagreements on things, but respect to them that they're helping hundreds, if not thousands of people to get divinity. As simple as that in raiding. And we also have people who teach different raids, whether they do it as a checkpoint. I'm really against, taking new players to a checkpoint and then farm it for stats. There's nothing better than taking a class from the beginning to the end and teach them. There's people who do it on a very professional level and they're good at it and they have their system, and I have the privilege to be one of these individuals, and I enjoy it. I love it. Giving back to my community, giving back to the raiding community, and making new raiders. And years later, and I'm like, wait, I remember this dude. I taught him Deepstone Crypt, and now he has 600, 700 Kingsfall, and he's doing raids. And then it's just creating this positive energy. You're changing someone's life. You never know. You never know who is gonna be the next raider. You can take them from LFG as a friend and just kind of take them under your wing and show them, and next minute they're getting it day one in the top 10. And it happened. A prime example would be, a shout out to him, by the way. Some of you played with him maybe, which is Ash. I think he got number 6, 6 or 7 for Desert Perpetual. And also shout out to Scotty OP, because that's my homies. These two are my homies. And I remember them when they were little kids, and they were one in Last Wish and the other I met him in Garden. They were just little kids. We start to hang out together and they learn. We start to low man and they were happy. And look where they at. Just because someone was able to give them an opportunity and they went on their own way, took this, passion and knowledge. And there's others. I talked to so many people throughout the years and where they at. And where I'm at, I'm very happy to see, like, the fruit of your hard work. Yeah, as simple as that, you can change someone's life to be better than you. And 100% okay that I have people who are better than me at a point they weren't. And that's okay, because again, it's all about the passion, it's all about the drive, it's all about having the ability to give back. And this is what really Raid Sherpa is all about, like making new raiders, telling them that raiding is fun, raiding is efficient, raiding is a safe place. I believe they also should be rewarded. How you can reward them, I don't know, because a true Sherpa is not doing it for the leaderboard. A true Sherpa is not doing it for the numbers. But it is an investment at the end of the day when you look to it. Like, you want to go up in a leaderboard, you want to help, but it's really about helping at the end of the day, making new raiders. I believe they should be rewarded. Like, if someone did a 500 Sherpa, or 1,000, or 4,000, or 10,000, they should be rewarded with a work like he's, again, same, like the same reward. Really, we're talking emblem, ghost shell, and all that. Um, the that's like the main thought. It's the rewarding all the categories of raiders and keeping them engaged, basically. Like, all right, you're doing work in the game as a raider, whether you're speedrunning, you're low manning, you're clear farming, you're a Sherpa, you should be rewarded. You should get on and do this passion, this drive that you have for this thing, and then get rewarded for it. And the only way to get rewarded to it, you as a player, you create your own, you know, um, utopia. You create your own imaginary thoughts, and then how can I do better? Like, Solo Witness takes effort to craft this theory and then go do it. It's being creative. This creative work should be rewarded. Like, if I was a developer, if I was and I had the big say, and I just saw someone do solo flawless of a raid or an encounter, that person should be rewarded, should be highlighted in the community. And I know they do it, but we highlight this, but then they should be also rewarded. And so that's really what I really wanted to talk about. Like I said, I don't want to drag it for too long, but that's something I wanted to talk about. It's been a thought, which is rewarding the player for their consistent effort and their passion, and then the drive they have for this game. As simple as giving something back that it's easy to make, because Bungie, you do this very, very easy. And that should be the conclusion of my topic. Again, two things just to go over before I end this is that this is my opinion, this is my thoughts, these are things that I would love to see in the game. And then the second is no showing off, no flex, nothing, just a passionate raider, and I really want to see these changes. If they happen, perfect. If they don't, then one can just talk, vent it out, and that's it. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I probably will make another clip covering a different topic, and that's it.